It's the music. Hey,
Oh, hello, everybody.
live.
This is
That's
Go
what we
share
doing,
Shayla
huh?
this
Shay.
page. Go share this to your
I
page.
am. Want me to start again?
Yeah,
Want me to start again? I
Yes.
am Shayla Shay.
It's me, a girl, Michelle. One that was good, y'all.
And I am Brother Love, DJ Big Rod.
Go share. Go share. What's up, y'all?
What's going on?
So there was no way that we were gonna let today go by without jumping on here and talk about last night's events. The world,
Absolutely.
the slap that was heard across the world.
Slap.
The slap that
Exactly
was
what
heard
it
across the world.
That's
And
was. That was bad.
and let's talk about emotional accountability and emotional immaturity, because a lot of that plays a part. And it also, nobody can. I feel like nobody can tell anybody when enough is enough, or when they had
Well,
enough, or what their
correct.
breaking point might be. We,
Correct.
we can't we can't. There's no way for us to say you're wrong for having a breakdown.
And
But
I just go ahead, girl. Because yeah,
but
I'm with
I
you.
mean, you can look at the situation because of how it all went down. You just don't get up on stage and just slap the shit out of somebody like it's just all right.
slap.
Sometimes
In
you
any
do.
stage, wherever, or in stage.
Sometimes you do.
And sometimes I get it all day.
Mm.
Yeah, I think one of the things that I've been hearing is like, how could he, and all of this kind of foolishness. And what I was just saying to someone is, last I checked, he's a human being. He
Right.
had an emotional reaction to a situation, and it was unfortunate. The events are unfortunate, but this is a whole human, and I don't think that he should be held to this higher esteem because he's an actor. He's still a human being who has a
Absolutely.
family and a wife, and felt the need to defend his wife, albeit maybe not the way that he should have. But who am I to say how you handle the situation?
Right. Absolutely.
Humiliated her. She was embarrassed. She was hurt, and the man defended his wife in the way that he felt he needed to in the emotional moment.
That he was in that emotional space. Okay.
Exactly.
He made a decision. He made a choice. Why can I share this to my page?
Maybe he did make a decision. Maybe he
Or
just
maybe, yeah, maybe he
he ain't
did.
even think about it. He probably didn't even know what he was going to do when he got up on that stage. He was like, I don't even know what I'm just about to. He said, I know he about to get something. That's all I know.
I don't know. I don't know if it's premeditated. I mean,
He could have choked the shit out of him. Like, it could have been a lot of different reactions. You know what I'm mushed him. He go, oh.
that is hilarious.
Yeah,
Well,
but it was just go ahead. We listening.
so let me ask y'all a question. So what do y'all feel he was appropriate? Was his actions appropriate?
No,
No.
violence is never okay.
Okay.
Violence is never
No.
okay.
Oh, okay.
But there's an understanding of what we're talking. There's an understanding of why
Oh,
Exactly.
and how we got
Exactly.
there,
oh,
Yeah.
and
okay.
not just to
Because
condemn
people,
or say or condemn the man because he his emotional judgment was off.
Interesting.
somebody on here gonna talk about Chris Rock new tour is called Five Finger Slap. Coming to a city next to you.
And he's got a matter of fact, I think his tour is starting, or either started already this
Well,
month.
he gonna change the name of it.
He gonna have to go out there and do some explaining.
All right.
Well,
To the
Will
people.
apologized. I mean, he did go
Will
on
did.
his page, and he did apologize, and he talked about how violence is never the answer, but he reacted in an emotional way.
He did.
And
Right.
I think I can understand it.
Me too.
Okay, so let me just ask a couple questions here. You know what I'm saying? I got my notes sitting here and I want to figure
I
some
got
things.
notes.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at it. So let's go back to when he when Chris Rock first said the joke. He was actually laughing. He laughed.
Okay.
Yeah, like this.
Nah,
This
nah,
We,
he,
we don't know what
laughed.
type of laugh it was either. I'm
Okay.
surprised.
Then when Jada had put her eyes up in the air and start rolling her eyes,
Mhm.
then it was another situation.
Because his wife was pissed off.
And then let's move past the slap. Let's go to when we got the award and we gave the speech.
So he said,
Right?
"Somebody slap my wife. I'll bitch slap that fucker."
So so what this looks like to me is he reached a breaking point and he really got frustrated. And I think that the frustration comes from all the stuff about the craziness that goes on in a marriage, in a household.
His personal life.
And I think right now this was the straw that broke the camel's back. Like, I think his manhood finally, you know what I'm saying, how thick is your skin? You understand what I'm
Well,
saying?
it's thick if you making jokes on Will. It's super thin if you making jokes on his wife.
Nah, because that's comedy. That's like when you go out to a comedy show and you sitting there with your man and the comic turns around and says something to you, so that gives your man the right to just jump on the stage. You get your ass out the front row.
It doesn't give you
But
right.
I don't think that's
You
the same
understand what I'm
type of
saying?
scenario. Because
But
I'm
that
saying
is
if
the
I'm,
same type of scenario.
I don't agree.
This is
What
more
I think,
personal. This is more
what I
personal.
think is that if I'm in a household, right, with my friends, because Chris Rock and them, they know each other,
Right.
and
Oh, we digging
somebody
too deep.
in the room
That's not too
makes a
deep. That's the
joke,
truth.
makes a joke that embarrasses or hurts my man's feelings, I'm gonna address it. Like, that's not just gonna go on because you think it's funny. It's like, oh man, I ain't really mean nothing.
Right.
And that
So
wasn't a comedy show, so you can't
but-
compare the two.
okay, all right. So what if you went to a play and somebody said something to you? It doesn't give you the right, like I said.
No.
And shout out to Talent, because I watched Talent on this situation. And the way Talent broke it down, I never even really looked at it like this, is that he explained it as far as your woman is supposed to be your top advisor. That was Will Smith's moment in his whole life. Everything that you work for, you understand what I'm saying? And at that same time, when Chris Rock said what he said, you know what I'm saying? A woman that's in his corner that cared about him would have been like, yo, hold up, this is your moment. Why are you letting this man ruin your moment? You understand what I'm saying?
Okay,
So-
but let me ask you this question. When was she supposed to do that?
She
It's
could have
not like
tapped him. She could have just tapped him. Like I said, when you see your man do something, getting ready to lose it, you understand what I'm saying?
But, okay, but they weren't. It's not like she was sitting right beside him, right? Because Lupita was sitting next to him.
No,
So-
she was in reach. She was
But
in reach.
my
and
point is,
go ahead.
that doesn't mean that she could have stopped him from going up on that stage. The man jumped up out his seat. It's not like he leaned over and said to Jada, I'm about to
I'm
slap
about to go slap the shit out of Chris.
Nah,
and
but
she said, no, go ahead and do that. She didn't
No,
have,
but-
she couldn't stop him.
No, I believe she could have. I believe she could have said something to him. You know your husband. You know your man. You know the situation. You understand what I'm saying? And my thing is, this was Will Smith's biggest moment in his life. You understand what I'm saying? And then sometimes it's like, think about it, when you're with your man and things go on and you say, baby, don't do this, not here, not now. You understand what I'm saying? I've been in situations like that.
I don't
The
agree
only
with
reason
you.
why I don't like that narrative, because it paints the picture as if she's wrong in the that it was her
That
fault.
she didn't do something
That
right.
it was her fault that he
but
did
see-
that.
But see,
I do agree with what you're saying about a woman and a man and the dynamics. And if her man's about to pop off, she should be able to be that reason, that listening, or that reason to say,
Right.
no, don't do
but,
this.
But this is the thing where, like I said before, with the embarrassment, this is not to me in the public eye, is that this marriage, what they got going on, to me, is when we was talking about that love and loving greater and more in a relationship, I think it's the same thing here, because she's always has done something over the years to embarrass this man. You understand what I'm saying? And at the same
What
point,
does that have to do with what happened?
I think what happened last night, yes, it does, because it was years of frustration. It was years of embarrassment. It was years of humiliation. You understand what I'm saying? Really,
what I do believe.
What did she do last night that was a catalyst to that?
I'm not going to
but
take.
He was tired of looking like a chump.
I'm not going to take
in the public eye.
What does her years and years of embarrassment? What did she do at the Oscars that was a catalyst for his behavior? How did she add to that to make him pop off?
Because it was before, it was things that's happened. His manhood was challenged again.
By her? What did she do?
But no. His manhood was challenged last night by the fact of the joke that Chris Rock said. It wasn't a ha ha he he moment because of all the other shit that had happened before this. You understand what I'm saying? So yeah, it's always going to be something negative about them too. And that's why he gave the speech that he gave.
I will say this. From what they show us of their life, because we don't know actually what goes on in their household. What they show us of their life is that from what I've seen, Will, especially with the whole cheating thing with her, he took a lot of backlash from that, being a punk, or you pussy, or because of his acceptance of the situation.
Agreed.
And deciding to whatever stay with his wife, and so she's being looked at as the villain here because she cheated on him. What they say, but from what we all know, they don't have a normal marriage and never have said that they do have that. From what we know, from what they've said. So they don't have a traditional marriage, so they do have this open thing. They do these things or whatever they do, not saying it's justified. So was he at a breaking point of feeling like less of a man because now here we go again? Was somebody trying to challenge me or challenge my manhood or over Jada?
Yes.
So now I have to react?
Yeah, yes, and you don't forget the thing about.
And I know that G.I. Jane joke, from what I understand, which I could be wrong, that the movie was more about not just about her hair. It was something about she cheated with somebody or something in the movie. I don't know. That's what I saw on the internet. I don't know how true that is.
I saw that too, but I also looked at the internet. They said that Chris Rock didn't even write the joke.
I mean, it don't matter who wrote the joke.
He said it. He said it, but the same thing is like I said before, you forgot when the interviews, when she was saying, oh, she thought Will was soft, she didn't really want to deal with him, all the other stuff. Jada has done some things.
I don't remember. I've never seen an interview where she called Will soft.
Yes, she has. Go back to the.
I know she talked about how she wasn't really sure she wanted to be with him when they first started dating because he was such a nice guy.
Right.
And that she didn't think that, he was her kind, that they would get along, that they were the same kind. But she didn't, that's the way the media took the words that she said and decided that she was calling him soft. But that's not what she said, right? And I want to go back to your point about Will feeling like Jada, he had to pop off because of all the things that have been said, right? Will has taken a lot of backlash for their public relationship. And I think the Red Table Talk has highlighted their life. And so because of that, it's out on display for people to critique and judge. And oftentimes it's a lot of negative things that are said about Will. And Will has never reacted or commented. What he commented and reacted to was somebody embarrassing his wife on national television. Regardless of what she did, regardless of what you or any of us may feel she's done in their relationship, it is not somebody else that's going to embarrass her of all the women that were sitting in that audience. You black men are going to get on stage and demean and embarrass a black woman.
It's comedy.
No,
not an
it's
exchange.
not.
It's
That's not.
comedy.
That's
That's
not
not
comedy
okay.
at that
And
point.
the thing is, to be totally honest with you,
It's
it's like,
comedy about her having
okay.
alopecia, which
All right.
is a medical condition.
All right, but does everybody know that? If you got a bald head, you got a bald head. Does everybody know that what's going on in somebody's life?
We're
Stephen
talking
A.
about
Chris knows.
Steve, I don't know that.
Chris
Well,
Rock knows.
I don't know that. That wasn't said. Where did you read that at?
Chris Rock did an entire movie on hair.
No, I understand that, but did he know what they was going through personally?
Jada has been on her Red Table Talks talking about how
It's been
painful
public.
her struggle is.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think that Chris Rock really did something deliberately to hurt somebody's feelings? No.
No, I don't think that.
No.
I think
it was deliberate.
And like again, do you know the problem with this is that do you know how many men are laying in a grave or sitting in jail behind situations like this right now? And what does the woman do? She gets another piece of salami, and that man is sitting out there doing time, or he's laying in a grave.
What has Jada done wrong? Why do you keep pointing back to Jada? What does she do wrong?
No, I didn't point it back to Jada. What I said was it was the frustration from all the other stuff that has happened in the marriage. You understand what I'm saying? No way in hell I'm sitting at the Grammys. I'm sitting at an award that I'm getting a lifetime award that 2 other black men has only ever gotten in the whole 94 years. And you crack a joke on my wife, and I'm gonna say, you know what? I'm gonna fuck this moment up and slap this nigga because he cracked a joke on you. Nah, he's not worth it. I'll see that nigga at a party. I'll see him backstage. I'll do something else. But what you not gonna do is mess up my moment in history because of that thing. That's all that it is.
Let me point out what you just said. What you're not gonna do is mess up my moment in history, which then again points it back to Jada having done something to ruin his moment.
No. I'm not telling you Jada did anything. What I'm saying, because she, first of all, she looked at that nigga like, honestly, like, you really gonna let this go down? She cut her eyes right to him. She cut her eyes right to him. Now, my thing is that even if it didn't go down like that, because like I said, my perception of it could be wrong. That's just my opinion. But bottom line, I'm not saying Jada did anything. What I'm saying is the past history that they have had created this situation. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, we can all agree that this was the one thing that blew the top, right?
Right.
So what you keep trying to make a point of is that it's been things happening all the way up until the point where Will snapped, right?
Very much so.
Okay. So let's make that clear. He had a breaking point because of a whole lot of things that have been going on. I absolutely agree with that. But it was nothing that Jada could have done to prevent that situation. All she did was sit there. And then when Chris said the thing that hurt her feelings, she had an emotional reaction to it. She rolled her eyes and she didn't laugh because it wasn't funny. It was hurtful. And her husband popped up out his chair and walked on stage and addressed the person that did it to her. It's nothing I don't even think Will knew what he was going to do when he got up on that stage. How could Jada have known that he was getting ready to slap this man on the Oscars to say,
what are you getting up to walk on? What are you getting up to walk on the stage for?
He could have went up there to say something in the mic, anything, not to physically assault.
That's true.
It's not his character.
So
it's not his character.
It's not in his character.
Right. So if I know that my husband is a physical man, and somebody say something to me, I'll be like, oh my God, he getting ready to act up because I know my man. But this is a man who 30 plus years of being in the industry has always held his cool. How was she to know that he was going to lose it to be able to stop him?
Even to the point of getting up on the stage. Bottom, tap your man leg, do something. Like I said before,
down and hold him back.
I didn't say hold him back, but do something, tap him, do something. Like, yo, it was bad decision making
on his part.
On his part. Right. No, I'm not blaming. I'm not blaming Jada on. I'm not gonna place blame on Jada. But what I'm saying is, from past history, is what I'm saying. Is what
that's why we do realize he got to a breaking point.
Yes,
and
he
emotionally.
Right.
I totally disagree with his actions.
I do too.
Because I totally disagree with his actions. Huh?
He looks weak.
I totally disagree with his actions, but I understand his actions, because he did get to a breaking point. And anybody, or man, female, or whoever, you respond to the situation emotionally, we don't know what your breaking point is. I'm not going to call you weak. You might have had a moment, and it could have been considered a weak moment. And at the end of the day, it is what it is. It happened. He apologized. Not saying apology takes the pain away. And it's going to get some backlash. Now, guess who's going to have to deal with the consequences? He does. Exactly. And it's going to be consequences.
Yeah. His legacy. It's going to be consequences,
but I don't think it's for us to judge him. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, you got to judge him. Dude, you don't. That's not.
Let me finish my point. Simply because there's not a human on earth that hasn't reacted emotionally to some shit that when they finished wilding, they was like, damn, I just fucked up.
I lost it.
Yeah. No, now you got to deal with that.
I got it. I got it, but that doesn't give it a pass. And like I said,
absolutely so many people
want to give it a pass.
He just lost his legacy, not his life.
I don't think
he did.
Oh yeah. That's going to be talked about for the rest of his life.
He lost his legacy.
His legacy is going to be
terminated.
His legacy is going to say, talk about my wife. You're going to get these hands.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Dealt with.
No, it's not. Nah, it doesn't, and that's the problem.
I do have a question. The people that you're speaking of, who are you talking about?
What happened? I'm just talking about people in general. Yo, it's only I think this is the second or third. I know Denzel got an Oscar. I want to say it was possibly another black man to get an Oscar, but he's the second or third, because I really, really don't know. But even in 94 years, for you to get to that status in life, and this is what you do, nah.
No, it's not cool, but his legacy's not gonna. That's a little far.
Right.
That's a stretch.
I think it's a stretch.
And you know why I'm saying that? Because we are having this conversation right now, and we have differences of opinions. So do you not think that there are more people that have difference of opinions, and is going to look at it in a way that is not going to take away from his accomplishments? This is going to be, for me, the thing that talks about. Yeah, forever.
Yeah, we're going to talk about it. But I also am looking at this man's life that we've watched him since he was 20 something, right? Carry himself in a very high esteem in all occasions at all times. This is the first time I think I've heard Will Smith curse in his career. It's not something that he does. And I don't think that one situation is enough to take away that man's life legacy that he's had already. The only people that are canceling him are black people mostly.
No, I'm not even canceling him. But what I'm saying is bottom line is it's just the point where like you just melt down the biggest time of your life. And to me, again, that just goes back to looking at what's going on in your life too, as well.
Yes.
You got to really sit back. You got to really sit back and look at that. But don't sit here and act like I'm the only one that's saying. Look at all the Instagram posts. It's the same thing. Like on Facebook, it's like at some point you are a professional. Will Smith understands comedy, first of all. You understand? He's almost a comic. You understand what I'm saying? So he understands comedy. So it's the same thing, like I said before. You could react a certain way, but at that point, nah, man. Come on. It's not. They even
Well,
said,
here's the thing. He's a professional. He's also a human being. And
understood.
he's allowed a human reaction to a situation, right? Because a lot of people, one of the points that you made, that this is one of the biggest things that's happened in his life. He may not think so. He may feel that the biggest and best thing in his life is his family. And that Oscar, while we may hold it to be something to be revered, in his life, he has to look at his kids and say, I didn't defend your mother because they wanted to give me an award. And that may not be good enough when you got to lay down with your wife and you got to stand up for her. Fuck that award.
All right.
I
mean,
say
listen,
fuck the Oscars.
like I said, that thinking got enough of us in the grave, bottom line. And that's really what it was.
I don't agree. I'm not condoning his behavior and how he reacted.
If it was a real,
condoning his behavior, though.
If it was a real nigga on there, it would have been a problem. If it was somebody else on there, it would have been a problem. And kudos to Chris Rock, because he took that stand. Because everybody ain't going to take that.
Agreed.
And especially that he understands comedy. That's the problem. Because you are a professional. You know what this is.
So because you understand comedy, it's okay to make your wife feel some type of way because you're a comic.
Okay, so all right. So like I said before,
what I'm saying is nothing that I'm saying condones violence. But what I am saying, him doing what he did clearly was his breaking point.
Exactly.
Which caused him to react that way.
Definitely.
Definitely was a breaking point for him. And like Shay was saying, we think getting the Oscars the biggest thing, and it might not have been to him. Obviously, it wasn't to him.
Well, he did. He said the thing. He said when Denzel told him that at the biggest point in your life, the devil's going to show himself. He said that in the speech.
Yeah, Denzel did say that to him, but
he told him that you need to be careful. And like I said, I get it. I understand. I get it. It was just, I believe that it was a lot of stress from before that has happened in the past. I don't believe if they were the greatest couple in the world, that joke would have went over everybody's head.
It might not have, it probably wouldn't have been told.
Thank you. Somebody else might not have said it. Somebody else would have been saying, I'm not going to say that to her. I'm just not. You're going to have to write something else because that's not okay.
I mean,
if he was
and the thing about it,
I've heard worse come from comedians. I'm not even going to get that. That was a stupid joke. It really wasn't even funny. You understand what I'm saying? It was, but that I've heard worse come out of comedians' mouth.
I was listening to Talent and they was talking about, as women, you know, we have to really be careful about putting batteries in our men's back to get them out there to go and do something that, you know, might be a problem, because there are some women that look at that action as, yeah, that's my man type of situation.
But I think y'all feel that way, to be honest.
Well, no, because you
didn't say that.
You think I don't feel that way.
I say that.
I think what y'all are doing is that y'all are not defending it, but you are defending it. Because I haven't even one of y'all. Because I haven't heard even one of y'all said, you know what, Will Smith dropped the ball on this, because he did.
Multiple times, Rashad.
I did not hear that.
All we said is that we do not in any way
condone violence.
His action, not
his
just
actions.
Violence. We do not condone his actions.
At all.
But it happened.
Okay.
And it was extremely unfortunate. We could talk about timing all day. Like, it was a terrible thing because it certainly took the shine off of a moment that should have been magnetized for not just Will, but Venus and Serena and their family,
Right.
and other people who were on that stage that were. Regina King hosted the Oscars for the first time. It was a lot of beautiful things that
And what
happened
about even the
for
award?
Black people.
Even the award that Chris Rock was even presenting.
Like I said, multiple things that will not be talked about or highlighted because that particular incident overshadowed everything. And that is the biggest point to me that I find unfortunate and about the whole situation is everybody else who was affected by it. So in no way am I condoning it. No way am I it's ever going to say that his actions were okay or that they were justified. I'm not going there because violence is always the wrong answer. But let's be clear. There was some catalyst there. And we got to point to that. And that's what we're talking about. What set him off and why he would be even in that situation where he feel like he got to get up on stage to even defend her. Because Chris Rock, of all comedians, a man who made an entire movie about the struggle of Black women and their hair, points to the Black woman in the front who is suffering from a condition that she has no control over and makes a joke about it, albeit maybe not that funny. Everybody ain't get it. She did. And it hurt her feelings and he got slapped for it.
I mean, so again, so no, I mean, I get it, but I mean, the slapping is crazy because now Chris Rock is not supposed to do his job because he pointed somebody out in the crowd. But what about people that talk about the mentally challenged? What about people? Look, I got a bad eye. I've been dealing with that my whole life. What if
you had a moment
so wait a minute, so I'm just slap the shit out of you all the time.
I understand. No,
come on,
and
man.
that's the thing. It's not okay. It's not
come
okay.
On, man.
An emotional. Can I just say this about emotional reactions and mental illness and breakdowns and things that we talk about all the time? You don't know what's going on with somebody. And you said it yourself. He's dealing with all the frustration, all the years of this, that, and the third.
Just being at the Oscars.
Being humiliated, being embarrassed, being all these things. And now yet again, here we go. Here we go again at the Oscars.
Somebody else, a friend of
somebody
his,
else.
Someone he considers a friend. Somebody he considers a friend. Of all the people that attacked him that day, this supposed to be my people's, and he gonna come for my wife in front of all these people and hurt her feelings.
Because it's a joke and it's his job.
Hold up. Wait. Hold up. I'm not too sure about the friend thing because they saying that it might have been something from that he said something about her before in 2000.
Last time he hosted the Oscars.
Last time he hosted the Oscars. So okay then. So if he roasted her then, like I said before, I don't know what the situation is. Bottom line is it goes down to the same thing with me is self-examine.
Well, let me ask you this.
How is Chris Rock being let off the hook? I do believe there is some accountability on his
what? Because he's a comedian. Well. He did his job.
I believe there's some accountability on his part as well.
Okay.
You're doing your job, so that means that it's okay.
That's what he got. That's the reason why he presented the award. To come out there, crack a joke, and give a damn award. Okay. He is a comedian.
All right. Well, comedians, I feel like that's the excuse they use to do what they do.
Say something mean and hurtful.
To say something mean and nasty funny. And then call it a joke. This ain't the first time a comedian's been slapped or abused or, I mean, not saying it's okay, but
reacted to.
Everyone's emotional state is not the same, and you don't know what it is when you are coming for them.
No, listen, I totally understand. And like I said before, but no, I don't think Chris Rock should be held accountable because again, like I said, that's his job. He's out there to ruffle feathers. He's done it all the time.
Actually, he got his feathers ruffled.
No, I mean he got slapped. He got slapped. It's good. He probably got
Well,
slapped.
he got held accountable already. Chris
Yeah.
Will Smith was judge, jury, and executioner
And
that day. So
he
there
made
it
him
is. He
accountable.
He's the
already
one that
got.
looked like a damn fool though, too, as well.
He's
all right.
the MVP. He was no. Somebody said he's a real MVP for not starting the brawl. He's not. I agree that he handled himself well.
He did, because I wouldn't have did that. I'm telling you, it wouldn't have been me. They would have definitely had to go to commercial.
He didn't have no wins.
Nah, I don't know about that.
You know, he could have.
Let me tell you something. Had he turned around and tried to hit Will, that thing is, slap would have been a fist.
I don't think he intentionally was trying to hurt her feelings. I don't believe that.
No, he wasn't.
I don't
because he was making jokes.
He was insensitive.
And comedians to me are usually very insensitive people because they will take the worst thing about you that you don't like and they will make fun of it. So
tell you that you gotta take it because it's just
you just gotta deal with it because it's their job.
Right. No, and I get it, but you guys said, do you feel like that Chris Rock should be held accountable? No, he's done nothing wrong but his job.
Okay. I don't agree
Annette
with
said
that,
that Will wouldn't have slapped him if he was a white man, but I say a white man wouldn't have said it to him.
Well, I think that if Chris Rock was a white man, Will be sitting under the jail right now. If that was,
it would have.
Like if that was Seinfeld that said that, yes, I think he'd be sitting right under the jail, and the state would have picked up the charges.
Seinfeld would have looked at that card and been like, "I'll be damned." I'm not saying that.
You don't know that. You don't know that.
And we don't know if Will would have smacked the white man.
Will would have smacked the white man. Exactly. Anybody could have got it. Like,
we don't know nothing.
You don't know what the breaking point is.
I think at that point, if a nigga would have said boo to Jada that night, it was on.
Well, here's the thing, right? Because Chris was making fun of her at the last Oscars, right? Will could have been holding that for 365 days. Quietly mad.
It was
2016.
Yeah, but he could have been mad about it from way back when.
Yeah.
And as soon as he did it again, that was it.
The trigger.
Only thing I'm gonna say, and I don't usually say that, but shout out to that cootie cat. It must be good as hell. Fabulous.
Yeah. Well,
fabulous.
My hope is that after all this has happened, we have a real conversation about a few things, right? Violence and how that's not okay. Mm-hmm. I hope that it brings absolute awareness to alopecia and what it actually is, so that people should be sensitive to people who deal with it, because you, Ra, are talking about you don't even really know what she's dealing with, but Will does.
I mean, yeah, but my brother had it. I mean, things, the cancer happens. I mean, things happen to people. You understand? So
you wouldn't make fun of a cancer patient.
Yeah, but people do. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I mean,
it's not okay though. But it's not okay.
If that was cancer and that's why she didn't have her hair.
But
he wouldn't have said that joke.
But people, what I'm trying to get you to understand is that people, when you sitting somewhere, there's comment going around. Anywhere there's a stage, and you at shows like that, you can't possibly get pointed out. You can, and bottom line is, the violence in the space, we don't condone that. But again, though, like I said before, it's just it was in distaste at what he did. Bottom line,
as a woman, I am happy that Jada had a man to defend her, because oftentimes we as women are attacked mentally, physically, emotionally by someone, and we have no one to defend us but ourselves. And in that particular situation, she had somebody on her side to defend her.
I mean, hey, if you need a man to defend you at a show when a comedian is sitting up there, I don't know. I just don't know. Then sit in the back. Next time you feel you got that
Defend her
kind of man,
honor, to
sit in the
defend
back.
her feelings, to defend her period. That she doesn't
Well,
have to deal with that alone. To not have to sit there and go, that's not funny, and blah, blah, blah. She didn't have to do that. She had her husband who stood there, and for all the world, like, I don't give a damn about nothing except that you hurt my wife's feelings.
All right.
And you're going to be held accountable. And that to me is a beautiful thing that she
All
had
right.
that. Because a
It
lot
could
of
be
us
done.
don't. A
It
lot
could
of us
have been.
just have to deal.
I think that it could have been done at another time. It
Your
could have been
emotions
handled in a
don't tell you that
professional
you're going
manner.
to deal with it
I
at
get
another
right.
time.
Your
That's
emotions
not
don't tell
snap.
you, hey,
People who
waiting.
snap don't snap like, ah, I'm going to wait. Ooh.
Yeah,
Sure
you,
Snap is a
but
snap.
see, that's what you sign up for.
Come
That's
on
what
now.
you
He's a
really
human
sign up for.
being.
He
He's
I
signed up to not
understand.
be human. Is what
No,
you
I
saying?
didn't say you
human.
signed up to not be human, but like I said, like you said, this is your life. This is what you face all the time. This is what you go through, and like I said, that's cool. Only thing I'm saying is he could have handled Chris a different way. I don't kick the nigga ass later on. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, at the same
Not
at
this
the
time.
same time. But like I
He
said,
could
but
have handled it differently, but unfortunately, that is not what happened.
no,
Right.
it's not. It's not.
So being that it did happen, I think that's what we need to unpack. Why it happened, and what can be, can prevent this situation. Because at the end of the day, there's something there that he needs to address.
I think he needs to self-examine what's
There's
going
some
on with him and
unresolved
what is
conflict.
going
There's
on in his
some
life.
unresolved. It's bigger. It's more than just him protecting his wife.
Exactly.
There's a
I'm
lot
gonna
of
say
things going on.
it's more than
Absolutely
just him
agree.
protecting his wife. It's more than
I
just that.
agree.
Because you can
Exactly.
protect your
You don't
wife
just
and not
snap.
have to be violent. You can.
Correct.
So
I
he
agree.
went about protecting his wife in a way that could have resulted in something way worse.
Correct.
Because if it was some
Because of the
street,
way he
if it was in
reacted
the
to it.
street and that would have happened, that could have went all the way left.
As
So
Ross said, it's a lot of men in the ground under circumstances.
because of that, so
Yeah.
yes, I will
Right.
say that. So I'm not gonna be like, oh yeah, he was protecting his. I'm not just gonna go with that narrative, although he defended her or whatever he did for her, and I looked at that as a noble and honorable thing. But I also feel like that's not the way it should have been. It should have went
Agreed.
down at all. That's not the way it should have
Agreed.
went down at all. I don't know if Jada could have done anything to stop him from walking up there without jumping out of her seat and screaming, "Will, what are you
Dragging
doing?"
him back. Where you
That kind of
going?
thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
trying to drag him back to his seat. Especially in that environment, Will probably, and the way Will walked up, it was a thing where he just kind of got up like
He
doo-doo-doo.
didn't even,
With
right.
no
I don't even
there
think
was
he had the
feelings,
thought.
it was nothing. Right,
Nah,
he just got
yeah.
up and did it.
Because he didn't think about the consequences of what he was
He
doing.
surely
He just
didn't.
got up there, and he probably didn't even know what he was going to do until he did it.
But
'Cause
he
you can
saw
be
his little
there.
face and was like, I think I was
Yeah.
going
And he had his chin. He was sitting there with his arms back, like, he kind of invited him. It was terrible.
I'm not making
Terrible.
fun of the situation, but
No, I
it
mean,
was-
there's some
it
comedy in
looked
it.
kind of funny to me. I ain't gonna lie, but it
Yeah.
was dead ass wrong though. Well,
It was
That shit was funny as hell. No, the funny part to me was Chris Rock said, "Yo, Will Smith just slapped the shit out of me."
That's not when I was laughing. I was laughing when he said, "Uh-oh." Will got up out that seat and he was like, "Uh-oh."
Because he didn't know why he was coming up here. Like,
No, he didn't know what was going to happen. He knew he was in trouble. He knew he was in trouble, but he just didn't know it was going to be a physical altercation.
No,
because
I don't
carry
Yeah,
himself
you
that
see
way.
what Princess said right here? That wasn't an attack on her. It was a joke. Joke.
We
He
didn't
never said
disagree
it
with
was.
that.
He acknowledged
Not a
the
night
joke
full
part.
of jokes. Joke. He said, "Jada, I
Okay, do
love
y'all
you."
realize this is what we
And
said?
he said, hold up, Chris is even Prince is even saying Will Smith said, "Jada, I love you," before he even said it.
Uh-huh.
Before he
said
even
what?
said it, it wasn't about her. It wasn't about her illness. It was what it is being modeled about. So, like I said, everybody has a different of opinion onto it.
I don't know how it wasn't about the illness when the first thing he said was to keep his wife's name out your mouth. So he clearly was talking about her illness. in the joke. That's how they took it.
Well, they took it that way. Just
Will
because
took
you
it
got
that
a
way,
boy,
and Jada.
We can agree that it was more happening with Will that day than just that one thing. That was the straw.
right?
Like, we agree, it's a whole lot that got him there, because this is a
Right.
man who carries himself in a way that is always trying to represent for men, Black men, husbands,
Always,
actors.
from what
He's
I see from him.
always presented himself in a way to be a role model for how a man should behave. So for him to get to that point is just that, getting there, which means it was not just that thing. That was the straw. That was the
Definitely.
straw.
Totally agree.
Definitely.
Totally agree with you. I just feel bad for him because, maybe, he has to address certain things that's going on with him. That's the way what I would really take from that is, I need to analyze what I'm going through personally.
And I
You
think that
understand what I'm saying?
they have always been very open about their self-work
Yeah,
and
but sometimes maybe they shouldn't.
well, I mean, they do what they do, but what I'm saying, my point that I was making is that I feel like from this, he is going to grow from it. I don't feel like this is going to keep him in a space of being stagnant or just allowing this thing to just consume him, because they seem to be that type from how they present themselves to the world. So he already apologized. His speech that he
More
made
than once.
last night was super, super emotionally charged.
Right. It didn't even really, he just was
Yeah.
talking. He just was in a
Today
bad.
he kind of had a chance to kind of reflect a little bit and be like, yo, I messed up. Real talk. I messed up.
Yeah. It's just a bad look for us. Bottom line, either way
For
you
us
put it,
as
it's embarrassing.
being
As Black people, yeah,
No.
I'm going to say that.
Will
Yes,
Smith does not represent the entire
I'm not
Black
accepting
race.
that. I'm not owning
Okay.
that at
All
all.
right. All right. I
He
ain't
does
seen no.
not
I ain't
accept
never
it.
seen.
He
No, I ain't
doesn't
never
represent
seen no
the
white
entire
man.
Black race.
I ain't never seen no white man get up and smack fire out of another white man on the stage with 3 billion people watching.
So what does that mean?
What does that mean?
All right. I mean, like
Will
I said
Smith
before,
is not the representative
he
of
looks
the entire Black race.
He
He's
looks
one
just as
man.
bad. He looks just as bad as Antonio Brown taking off his shirt, jumping around at the Jets game.
Antonio Brown didn't represent me as a Black woman
Me
and every
neither.
Black man or every Black man in sports.
All right.
So why is Will held to this standard that he ruined it for all Black
For
people
all
and
Black
embarrassed
people.
all of us in front of white folks?
let's see what the Oscars do for us next year, because this was a totally Black Oscar.
Who gives a damn about the Oscars?
Okay.
Right. They're not the
All right then.
judge of
Nobody
us.
cares about what the Oscars think.
All right. Okay.
And see, that's where I think a lot of the problem is. There's a concern of what they think about
it's not about what they think about us. It's about behaving appropriately.
Okay. And if you don't behave appropriately, it affects you.
Okay,
No,
no,
you're right.
But if you don't behave appropriately in certain places, like I said before, this is what happens. This is what they think of us. I mean, it's not a positive. It didn't come from a place of positivity. It didn't do that.
Why are we even trying to be in a space where we're trying to work so hard to be acceptable that we don't even have room for error?
No,
the man lost his temper.
I don't want to be accepted. I don't want to be accepted by nobody at all. But the only thing that I'm saying is like I said before, it's a time and place for everything.
Right, but it's
right.
But when we that's fine. That
time and the place now.
But when we start talking about how it makes us look as a people, is when I think that's where it's going a little too far.
Okay. If you like I said,
first of all, they have never looked at us as a people as anything more than slaves. If we want to go there. When we start to elevate and start to do things, you cannot tell me that if one person out of our culture does something, that's it. The whole culture's fucked up.
I didn't say the whole quote.
And
I'm
not
just
only
saying
that,
it's a bad. It wasn't a good look.
not
For
only
himself.
that,
For himself, I
correct.
agree.
But I also want to point out the fact that this man has had a legacy already of showing up properly. And
Yeah.
the one thing he does is enough to erase everything.
No,
that he's
nobody.
done.
No, nobody's not saying it is. But yes, he's gonna have an asterisk next to his name for it. I mean, like I said,
his asterisk said you could get these hands.
I mean, listen, I get it, but again, it's if y'all feel it's cool because, like I said,
why do you keep going back there?
Because
Why don't you not feeling it's cool?
Y'all are giving me the energy.
No, what you're not gonna do is try to make it sound as though we are condoning Will slapping the shit out of Chris Rock.
The shit.
Okay.
Okay, no. Just because we can understand it and accept it doesn't mean we are agreeing with it.
We're just discussing it.
Looking at the situation from a different perspective of I understand and I get why Chris got them hands. Don't mean, Will, you was wrong for slapping the shit out of Chris on national television.
All right.
That wasn't right. That wasn't right.
Not nice, Chris. Not
nice. Black on black violence in front of people.
None of that is cool.
I get it. We had company and y'all acting up in front of the company.
We uninvited to the Oscars. Okay.
Yep.
Because I mean, if you want to really go, they had to take Will in the corner, like how you pick somebody up from the pew at church and bring them to the back. Like, come on, man, get yourself together. That's what they did to him. That was the pep talk with Denzel and Tyler. Control yourself.
Right. Yeah, you all right. Look what you're doing. You acting up. Get your life together.
Come on.
Yeah, like you of all people. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. My point. Like he had a moment.
You of all people. Like, come on, man. You just did that shit because it was Chris Rock. I'm sorry.
Because for him to
slap him and get away with it.
Chris Rock already was on his shit list. That's why.
Now, but Chris Rock, he thought about it. Chris Rock stepped back for a minute and was like, hold up.
Let me say this. You never had somebody that did something to you and you let it slide. And you say to yourself, if that mother could say it or do another thing, I'm going to be different. He popped off. That was all he needed. He said, well, I'm going to go to jail tonight.
So basically, what's right? What Jerome just said, don't assume Chris is weak. Everybody, he did to Chris Rock, but
Chris is a professional. No,
that's not what I'm saying. Y'all saying that it's because it was Chris Rock. He did it. Like Chris is some weak, soft hell.
He wouldn't have did that to the game.
Chris Rock held his composure, right?
He did well.
Because he's a man. Not just because he's a man, but because he didn't really physically hurt him in that way. Like he embarrassed him, he slapped him, but he's a man. He took the slap. He could take the L because he's not a punk. He said, I'm going to hold it together because if I don't, one of us has to have a level head in this situation. And here you are dealing with somebody who has clearly snapped. So somebody's got to be the bigger person to be like, all right, before this becomes something terrible for all of us, I'm going to take the L. And he took the L.
He took the L.
Listen, shout out.
Not because he don't pop
Everybody
off.
saying it wasn't this person, he wouldn't have did that. Y'all don't know what he did.
Shout out to Chris Rock, though. He deserves it.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't have did
right.
it. I wouldn't have did it. I'm sorry, nigga. I'm cracking jokes. You gonna punch me in my face? Shit. If I was Chris, I'd have cracked the ill joke.
And just like Chris, when he said, keep my wife's name out your mouth, Chris was like, I will.
I will.
I will.
Yo.
I ain't never going to say
Ever.
He ain't going to say juice no more. He going to be like, pass me the
Yeah, y'all are crazy.
Take the J out of his vocabulary.
Y'all are crazy.
I will. Okay.
Y'all are crazy.
Like,
Y'all are
all
crazy.
right, don't come back up here.
They're not playing. They was not playing. He was not playing. And Chris was in shock because Chris was not expecting to be slapped last night
No,
on the Oscars.
Will was
When
not
he left his
expecting to
house,
slap
that is
him.
not what he signed up for.
Will
Was to
didn't
get.
know.
I don't think Will knew he was gonna slap the
No,
shit out of Chris neither.
no,
Yeah,
of
he
all
did.
people.
Yeah, he did. He knew that shit. Like I
How
said,
you know you gonna slap somebody?
he knew that shit.
I know I'm a slap Rashay when I see him.
He knew that shit. That's
Got one
crazy
in
as
the hand for him. Pow! So I had something for you. What?
It's
Anyway,
faceless, but
He
hey,
popped off.
we just really wanted to get on here and just kick that around because that was something.
yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy.
The world is talking about
still,
this, so
I still stick to it.
If we weren't in our off season, then we'd have brought it to the show. But since we didn't,
Yeah,
definitely had to jump on it.
I still say it's good. I know it's good. I know everybody sit home like, yo, that shit good.
Well, everybody ain't sitting at home because I didn't cross my mind that one time.
Yeah, it did. Stop it. To get up on national TV and smack fire out of a funny man. Get out of here.
It's the mother of his children.
That's right. And his wife.
Okay. Here y'all go
Got a
again.
daughter.
But
You know
we
what I
not,
mean?
we not condoning it. But we not condoning it.
No, we are not.
No, we are not condoning it. But you can't.
Absolutely
We know why
not.
he did it. We know why he did it.
So is it? I'm not condoning, but I understand.
That's what we've been saying.
Exactly what we said.
All right. Okay.
I understand
we're
how
not
it could
allowed. So
happen.
you're trying to say that you don't understand why that happened,
or how it could happen,
or how it could happen?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
No excuse.
Mr. Non-emotion, you have never done anything.
I have. That's what I'm telling you. I have.
So how can you not understand that?
Because if I had that much shit to lose that he's got going on, yeah. No.
Rasha, you risked your freedom before. So what are we talking about?
I
did. I'm telling you. But again,
that's enough.
Your life is
but you learn. But again, you learn. You go through things. You learn.
Do. But this is a man who we talking about who's never reacted this way.
You don't know what he's reacted to.
Again.
In public.
In private. But
in public.
Right. Like I said, pressure bust pipes.
And what I'm saying is that
bust that pipe.
Say that you don't understand. Okay, I'll accept that. But
if that's what you're gonna say,
yeah, I mean, it's just like
because then that means that you have never reacted to any situation, and I wouldn't. Because to me, to react means that you're not thinking.
No, I'm not saying I never reacted to any situation, but what I'm saying, a situation like that.
Like what? Because it was the
Oscars. Because he just cracking a joke from a comedian to me is like, yo, and even if it was a personal thing, I would have dealt it on another. If I slapped fire out of Chris, I'd have went right backstage and slapped the fuck out of him.
So do we now get to choose what someone's breaking point is, or we now get to choose how someone should be affected by what they're affected by? Is that what we're saying?
I guess so.
You're basically saying that the man should time his
emotion
point to
self-control,
the commercial.
No, I ain't say
commercial.
I'm saying, like I said, you can't, but you can't condone people like snap. You can't, because people are in jail for this.
Condone it.
People do this.
You already know he thinks that. He already got in his mind that we condone this and we think this.
No, I'm not saying that.
But kindness of people have breaking points.
They do, and that's what I'm getting in.
That's a man who.
Right. But it's inexcusable at all.
That he snapped?
Yeah.
All right. I think it's a human thing that happens.
It is. Sometimes. It does happen to people. It does. But like I said before,
obviously last night was a representation of that thing, of someone snapping, and thankfully it didn't
escalate.
Thankfully, it was Chris Rock. Worse than it could have been. Not just thankfully that it was Chris Rock.
Because we
know, like you said before, that situations like that happen and people will lose their life from
Right, but
somebody
I'm saying
reacting in an emotional
when I
way
say
to a situation.
right, but
So it's
when I
never
say
okay.
like I said, when I say it was Chris Rock, I mean it was a professional, because if it wasn't another professional, it could have went totally left.
And look what Jerome said. Why are we not addressing that as being said it's okay to do it off stage, but not on stage? How come that's more acceptable if he would have
Because
waited till later?
because I get it. So it's a time to whip somebody's ass. It's a time and place for it. It's a time and place to address someone.
So it's the
Not
when,
there.
it's the where for you.
So then
Not
violence is, so sometimes
Acceptable.
violence is the answer to you.
Acceptable at some point.
If I feel I had to whip somebody ass, I would approach them at an appropriate time. No, I would have stepped to him. Would I have slapped fire out of him? It would have depended on his actions. But I would have approached the situation at another time. That's just
But
being
then that
professional.
means that then
That's
you're
a
putting
methodical, calculated
on when
choice
it's
of
okay to be
violence.
violent.
That's a
No,
choice to
it's
make
not
to be
violent.
violent.
It's a choice. Yeah, because if I'm upset about something, I'm upset about something. But yes, if I felt that I needed to address Chris Rock, I would have addressed him at another time, not in front of 3 billion people.
So are we saying that violence is the answer, but
No, I'm
just
not
not
telling you that.
on
I said
camera?
I would
Not in
approach.
front
I
of
would
Just
have.
not on
people.
camera.
You
I
whip
said
his
I
ass in the bathroom.
I would have had
Yeah, meet him
approached him.
outside.
Like I
Give me a
said,
boy,
I
let me
would
talk
have
to you right
approached
quick.
him at another time. Yeah, I would have approached him. Now, it could have went somewhere, but like I said before,
Absolutely.
I would have approached him. Yes, I would. If I felt that you really violated me and my family like that, yes, I would have approached them. Not in front of 3
So
million
then my
people.
question is, so violence is not okay because it was
In
on
public.
camera in public,
But it is okay backstage.
backstage.
I would approach it. If the man is on stage, why would I just jump on the stage and say you said something about
That's
my
not
wife?
the
Like,
question.
why
Not
would you
what she
do that?
asked you.
That's
Right?
not
Yeah,
the
I would
question.
approach them backstage. Yes.
That's not the question.
I
So
would
it's
approach
okay
them
to
another
slap
time.
him backstage.
So it's
It's
okay
not
for him to have
okay.
slapped him backstage.
If I would have went there, if it would have went there, it would have went there. What my
Well, I
intention?
want to
basically,
go on the
we're not
record and
justifying
say
his
that I
behavior.
absolutely disagree, and I don't think that Will should have laid hands on him at all.
Period.
Because
At all.
violence
Right.
is
No, I got.
never the answer. Not on stage in front of 3 billion, not backstage when it's just him and Chris. You shouldn't be putting hands on people.
No, I'm not telling you that, but a conversation was needed to be happening. If you're that angry, you need to have a conversation. You don't let it go. Bottom line, yes, I would have approached them, just not there.
No, but what the question was, why are people saying that it's okay if he would have slapped him off camera, off stage?
Oh,
But
no,
not okay
I'm
that
not
he did it
saying that.
on
No,
stage.
no, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that I would have approached them. But what I'm saying, if Chris would have pushed my buttons, it could go somewhere else because, like you said, people have emotions. But I'm not going to jump on nobody's stage.
Well, his buttons was pushed by Chris, and he didn't want to wait until they got off stage.
Okay, so then.
Because sometimes if you discredit a man's woman, and
it needs to be addressed immediately.
Okay, all right. So again,
in certain situations, no.
Here's a situation where Jada is struggling with her self-image. You don't know what she's dealing with at home, going through all of that, and having to get out there in front of 3 billion people and have a black man get on stage and degrade and embarrass his black wife in front of 3 billion people is where you address it. Why is it okay for him to do that to her in public and you say, I got to now take him backstage and address it?
So that's like I said. So again, so you're condoning that he should have addressed it right then and there?
No, I'm not condoning it. What I'm saying is Chris did something and
not even if he slapped him, but what I'm asking you, not even if he slapped him, are you condoning him even
that
approaching
Will could have got up and
said
to him, you owe my wife an apology. Apologize to my wife right now.
That would have been the right place to do it.
In the Oscars, out in public, no, it embarrassing. You're embarrassing
Right,
yourself.
you're embarrassing
Right. That's
yourself
the only thing that I'm
as
saying.
well.
So you would
But
address it at another time.
that's where Chris set it off. That's where it went down.
Okay. All right.
Now, if he would have said, "Okay, we're gonna go," the here and now was the time to address it. Unfortunately, we were at the Oscars. Yeah, it just so happened
All right.
that he said it at the Oscars, and we'll address it at the Oscars.
All right.
It's well, if you want to, if we're not condoning the violence, because it wouldn't have been okay had he slapped him
No,
back.
I'm not but I would have had a conversation. I just wouldn't have had the conversation. I wouldn't have jumped on nobody's stage and did that.
I'm sure Will has had plenty of conversations with people over his career at some point in time that he kind of laughed it off when something has been said or done to him. And last night wasn't the time.
Wasn't the time. I get it.
He just wasn't there. Who knows why? We don't know the dynamics that happened beforehand. What I do know is that he was completely out of character. And because of that, in my mind, I'd rather sit back and not judge this man like he just ruined it for every single Black person and that we're never going to be invited to the Oscars, because it seemed to me that even they understood that his behavior was out of character, which is why he still got the award, still was allowed on stage. They still didn't treat him like he was canceled in that way, like, that's it. His behavior's over. That's it. We're not dealing with him anymore.
You got to think about the powerhouse that came to his age too. You got to think about that too. So they couldn't take that.
They also understand that it was not.
I don't know if they understood, because they calmed his ass down. If they understood, then they didn't have to take him out of seat. So no,
they understood. They did. Sure, they did. Sure, they did.
No, they had to get them all the way together.
They had to get him together.
Right. They seen another brother go left. But I don't sit there and say that they're gonna say, "Oh yeah, this, that, and other." No, they supported him in the time of need. But I don't believe that. No,
that's what we're saying.
Right. So at the same, no, you saying that like he understood, like, yeah, oh yeah, I understand why you just slap fire out. Is that no? I don't believe that. No,
they didn't say that. I don't think they said that.
Nobody said that.
They understood.
Nobody said that.
No,
you said that they understood his action.
State, not
they understood that he flipped out. Not understood his action.
But that's why
they understood that he flipped out. That's like you see your boy, he flip out. You gonna get him and be like,
but that's why, right. But that's why the Academy didn't take action, because those are the two biggest Black men in all of Hollywood. Matter of fact, probably two of the biggest men in Hollywood.
And so they rallied around him because.
So you said the Oscars didn't take action because of Denzel and
Tyler Perry, of course.
And
you don't want them to blackmail and blackmail
and Will
too.
Boycott the Oscars. Yes, you're right.
So we're talking about three men, three Black men who have always carried themselves in a particular way. One of which lost his temper. The other two come and rally around him, get him all the way together. Right. He gets up on stage, he apologizes, he does all the right things, right? Tearfully, even understanding how his actions affected everyone. This is a man who immediately understood what he did and was in a place of regret even as he accepted his Oscar. So
does that not count for anything?
I mean, like I said, you have to explain your actions. I mean,
no,
at some point,
you don't have to do anything.
No,
you just double down.
No, you don't. No, you absolutely do not.
Now, would that have been the right thing to do?
How many people do we see do things and don't make statements, don't come out and say anything? So no, he chose to do that because he knew that he was out of line.
All right.
When you accept that you have accountability as a motherfucker, and which he did take. So does that not count for anything?
Okay, so do you think that he owes Chris Rock an apology?
I feel
he apologized to Chris already.
No, he didn't.
Absolutely
I read his statement. I'm gonna read it.
I didn't see the statement. I'm talking about. I didn't see the statement. Okay, because he didn't apologize when he said the speech.
Because he probably didn't mean. And if he said
was
it then, he probably
emotional.
wouldn't have meant it.
Okay, but he
Right.
apologized to
He had to
everybody
get
else.
he had to get it together.
Right,
And
but he
what he said
apologized to
was
everybody
what he
else.
said on his page was, I would like to publicly apologize to you, Chris. I was out of line and I was wrong. I am embarrassed by my actions. Were not indicative of the man I want to be. There is no place for violence in a world of love and kindness.
Yeah, that's great. And
So
that's great.
that's
He didn't say it last
accountability
night.
and
I didn't hear that.
acknowledgement for
No, he did
actually
take he did take
making a bad
accountability.
decision.
Yeah, he did take accountability
So
for
then
it.
why is he still being crucified?
I don't think he's being crucified. I just think that it is what it is. You know, it happened. We're gonna move past it, but it's like, yo, it was a crazy time. That's all. Have you ever seen somebody jump on stage and smack fire out of somebody at the Oscars or the Grammys or any place? No, none
I
of us
did
have ever
last
where.
night.
Okay, none of us has seen it, so it's gonna be.
I
talked
did
about
last night.
I've seen it all day
it's,
today.
it's gonna be
And
talked
I
about a
might
long
tune
time.
into the Oscars next year after that.
Yeah, I might to see it go
That
down again.
entertainment. That's the
Yeah,
best thing
to
that
see it go
happened to
down
the
again.
Oscars
But
since
what
I
we
was
have
born.
seen is our people have acted out in different
In
type of
front of
shows. Maybe not
company.
the Oscars, but
In
people want
front
to put this
of
whole
company.
big thing on. It's the Oscars.
No, it's not that.
So what? It's the Oscars.
It's
I
yeah,
wouldn't
it
give a
is.
damn if he was at the corner store.
Listen, I don't
Who
watch
could
it,
have
but
slapped them?
I don't watch them. I don't watch the Oscars. It's not even about that. Bottom line, Will Smith is just, you know, you got and you know, we shouldn't really do this, but you have an when it comes to a guy like Will Smith, you have other kind of expectations of who he is. And like I said, I think that's the most shocking thing that could have probably happened, that it was Will Smith. If it was the game, it probably wouldn't have been this bad.
I'm not even gonna put that on that. If it was whoever, I wouldn't even care who it
No,
was.
because Will Smith, he I mean, come on, you would have never thought that Will Smith would have
Chris
done
Rock.
anything like that.
Chris Rock had no defense because
You
he
would have never
did
thought they would
not
have
see
slapped
that
Chris
coming.
Rock. So who's to
He
say?
didn't see it
Right.
coming.
He did not
You
see
would have
that
never
coming.
thought he would have slapped Chris Rock. So if he would have wilded out and did something to anybody, we would have never been like, what the hell has come over with?
I just
What
said
happened
that.
to Will?
I said,
Yeah.
yeah. I said from Will Smith. Yeah, definitely.
Real.
I
Yeah,
agree.
yeah.
So that's where
That's what
we
makes
don't
it
know
a
that.
lot
We don't
worse.
know that to this person and that person.
That's what makes it a lot
Huh?
worse that it was Will Smith, I believe.
And because he was out of his character. So to me, whether he punched Chris Rock or punched Mike Tyson, now
He would have thought about that.
we don't know what his mental state was.
Right.
You
Because
really
you know
don't.
when
about that. Trust me.
Anybody
we don't
might have
know
got
when
it.
his mental state would have
Yeah,
taken him.
okay.
We
He'd have
don't
thought
know.
about that. He'd have thought
But
about
this is what we do know. Had he slapped the game, the reaction might have been a little different.
Right.
It
We would have had it would have been some jail. It would have been a whole
That's what I
different
said.
story.
It would have been a whole different thing. That's why I said, thank God it was Chris Rock.
Thank God Chris Rock had the
professionalism.
the composure. That's the word I wanted. The composure to not react to the situation and make it worse than what Will had already done. Will did enough to last us forever. So Chris Rock handling it the way that he did, kudos to him. Because you're right, there aren't very many men who would have had the mental fortitude to hold themselves together after getting slapped. A lot of men would have just reacted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you walk up on somebody and just slap them, your reflexes is like, yo.
Yeah,
I was
at least he would have been like, you didn't have that face.
If I'm standing somewhere and some dude just starts walking towards me, I'm already kind of like,
defending.
And I just said something about your wife.
And Chris Rock had his hands behind his back and leaned forward because he did not even for 1 second think that was coming. Not for 1 second.
Not for 1 second did he think that he was about to get slapped.
Yo, shout out to Chris. I'm in Prince. Prince said Chris Rock, don't think this shit is over. Chris Rock got something up his sleeve.
Well,
You
if you
waiting
don't think
for him
that-
next time.
if you don't think, I told y'all Chris is he's on tour in Atlantic City. You don't think he's talking about this on that
Oh,
stage?
he going in.
You
Oh,
don't
yeah,
think
his ticket sales just went up because I'm going
oh,
to see him.
yeah, he is. What
That
is
too.
What that Joe say?
His ticket
The price
sales is
just
going
went
to go
up.
up. I'm definitely going to go see him.
The price just went up.
I agree.
You know, he adding
I
this
agree.
to his routine.
Right.
No,
Sure is. Say, oh, y'all think I should have hit him, right?
right.
Yeah, I can't wait to
He's
hear that
gonna-
conversation.
And guess this just probably got Chris a couple of extra dollars.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
But we don't know what's gonna happen to Will. We're gonna be all right, you know.
Yeah, I'm praying for him. I know that he's going through a lot. I mean, the whole
Yeah.
family. I mean, it's probably
You need to go to
last
Dr.
couple
Phil.
of years. This last couple of years with them as a couple, and the fact
It's
that
been a
they've
lot.
had their relationship so public and being judged by people constantly has to take its toll on your mental. And so there's
Absolutely.
probably room there for both of them to be in
But-
therapy to really, get through
But-
some of that. And I hope that that's what happens is that they work through it and come out on the
Agreed.
other side.
Agreed. Because we
But
don't
on
know
this-
everything.
On this note, though, would you feel like, to me, the way I look at it now is that they made a decision to put their marital business out there like that, and this is all of the backlash that you get because you want to live your life in front of the cameras.
A little
So-
bit, probably.
Sometimes,
This backlash.
and see, one thing I am starting to notice as I'm talking to you ladies is that when, like you said, look at the powerhouses, look at Denzel Washington, look at Tyler Perry. You don't hear nothing about their personal life, about their wives, or who Tyler Perry's sleeping with, if he's married, or what's going on with Denzel's Washington's wife. You never hear none of that. So maybe sometimes it's best to leave your personal life personal. And maybe you won't have those stress.
That's definitely a situation where they have lived their life in the public eye and been transparent.
Very much so.
But I will say this, I don't knock them for it. I mean, that they made a choice to do so, to be transparent, and if they're not the only ones that are transparent with their life.
But all
There
the
are
ones
just some that have decided that this is not what they want to do, but they did.
But to me, it looks like the ones that are transparent, that want to be in front of the cameras, drama happens.
Drama happens that we
There's
see.
probably
Yeah.
some truth in there.
Yeah,
I don't doubt
drama
that.
happens that we see.
Sometimes you get what you ask for.
Well, I don't know what they was asking for.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
And people on stage,
The moment we agree with him, he want to add some crap to the bottom of it. I'm like, wait a minute, what?
it's all embarrassment, entanglements, slapping people on stage. This is going on. This is going on.
Yeah, I
It's
don't think they asked for that
it's
though.
never
They
a
just
dog
I don't think
moment.
they
their life.
asked for that.
They're just living their life in a transparent way. I don't think that they're
Yeah, but
asking people
it's
to
never a
judge them.
dull. It's never a dull moment with them.
Well, you know why? Because you
Never
know
a
they
dull
got,
moment in my life either.
they
So
got
Yeah,
but
but
you gotta
everybody
look
don't
at
know
the-
it.
you gotta-
I
you
don't
gotta
know it.
look
Michelle
at-
don't know it.
You
I'm
gotta look
still
at,
living my life in a wonderful way.
but you have to look at who they are. They kids. They just have a completely unorthodox lifestyle that's just not traditional in the eye of most people. So for
But-
them,
but-
that for some that seems like it's wrong. Something's wrong with that. Why is your life like this?
No,
But
it's
for
not.
them, this is my life, and this is normal for me, and this is how we do what we do. We got issues, and our issues. Some things you can't really hide. If Jaden is out here wilding, the media is on his ass. If Willow's out here doing something, the media's on her ass. So
So
sometimes you can't even get away from the media because they are actually targeting you to the
Hunting you
point where we
down.
have to
Yeah,
see
they
what's
wanna
going on
get
with you.
anything.
Right. But to me, let's talk about another famous family. I'm gonna get on that in a minute. They got young kids as well. but they keep their personal life personal. Look at the Obamas. You don't really never really hear nothing about the Obama kids. Because you know why? You see Michelle and Barack as a public figure. You don't get into their personal life. They don't let you into their life like that.
Okay.
So even if you live an unorthodox lifestyle, you don't need to be out there in the street. I mean, you don't need to have everything on Front Street like that. Like I said before, and maybe this attention wouldn't be happening. And maybe,
but when you do, you're gonna have to accept what comes with it. That's just really what it is.
Yeah, but that's what happened.
Do we think it was scripted? I don't.
No,
not with Will cussing like that.
Nah. After and then when he he was a little upset.
That man was serious.
I thought it was scripted until that point.
A lot of people were saying they thought it was scripted until once he made that emotional apology. That's when I was like, okay.
And then you're crying on. Listen.
He was crying. He was in his feelings. You can't just slap a man and then go win an Oscar and then walk up there like, all right, everybody.
What Rudy Ray Moore said, he's good. Ooh, that's good.
That was an emotional night. You know, they gave him the award. So, of course, now I win this award. So now you're feeling like purity crap.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you got to go up there again and be like, hey, it's me again. I'm calm now.
I'm calm now. Right. They done got me together. So now I got to explain myself as to why this happened. Is it okay? Nah, it's not okay. His emotional outburst was not okay.
Yeah.
But it happened. And there's a lot there to unpack. And there's some issues that this man needs to deal with. Him and his family gonna go and take care of whatever they need to take care of. And that's the hope. That they
so too.
fix it and that next year he ain't slapping folks. I mean, because come on, Will, we got to get it together. They just need to kind of lay low for a minute. He made a statement. See, he gonna come out with a new blockbuster in a few months.
In the house.
In the summer, he gonna come out with a movie this summer. Watch, but ain't he doing I Am Legend again? I Am Legend 2.
I did see that. I don't know if that means it was filmed already or he just signed a contract to film it. But either way, I was like, that's a good look. I like the first one. So I'll be right back.
The only backlash he's seeing is coming from Black people, and that's sad.
Yeah, white people.
We don't know. No. They've interviewed who the Spanish guy from the Italian guy that played in all the Spike Lee movies. He had a comment. He said that wasn't cool.
Well, Black and brown people.
Huh?
What the white people saying?
That he was Italian. He said it wasn't cool. He said he don't think it was cool.
I don't care what the white people
think it was cool either.
We don't either.
It just happens. But what y'all gonna do on y'all break though? Y'all gonna
judge ourselves. We judge each other the hardest.
I need to your question about the break is I'm gonna fold my clothes that I haven't folded. I got simple things that's just like falling through the cracks, Not enough hours in the day, man. See if I could match a sock. Like all my socks are mismatched. I can't get it together. It's just things. Put away my winter clothes.
I'm gonna take a Sunday to myself. That's what I'm gonna do.
Next Sunday, I'm really gonna I've been trying to do my house and decorate and stuff. So that's kind of what I'm working on, getting my house together. I got a bathroom to decorate and my bedroom.
Yeah. Well, let's get off this thing. I really just wanted to say hey to y'all, to say hey to the folk.
Yeah.
And if something pops off after this,
hey Riley.
Riley, you late.
Yeah, it was a little bit earlier, but we was just too busy in our convo. But thank y'all for kicking it with us. I see it was a lot of comments in the chat, a lot of good conversation about it. Well, let's just all pray for the Smith family. And I guess we could throw a prayer in there for Rock.
Pray for the Rock family too. We're gonna pray for the Rock family because he got embarrassed. He was good and embarrassed then and there. Yeah, I felt bad when I saw his face because I was like, oh.
his new name is
because what
gonna
do
be
you
Strong
do
Boy.
That is for them. Like, damn, bro.
to
You just
both of
got
them? Like,
set.
ugh,
Yeah,
ugh,
It-
ugh.
it
it's
wasn't,
all right.
my reaction to it was like, whoa, wow, whoa.
But it's crazy though, because we've been on this longer than we've been on a show.
Well,
So
that's because we've been kind of limited to an hour.
yeah, because
We on
I
the
keep
radio
trying. Yeah, I took because y'all from Venus and I'm from Mars. That's what the whole problem is.
and
But
we all from
I
Earth.
forgive y'all. Don't worry about
We all from Earth.
You know what?
it.
All right, let's get off
Anyway,
this thing.
so y'all already know we
Peace
gonna
out,
pop up. Even
people.
though we're on a break, we still y'all gonna see us around. We
Talk
know
to y'all.
something might happen. Of course, this was a trending topic, so we had to jump on here.
Yeah.
And there was no way we wasn't gonna talk about it. And I feel like today was the best day.
Just getting why it's hot.
Yes, get it while it's hot.
All right,
All
ladies.
right, y'all.
All right, people. Good night, y'all.
Night.